This is Aluma Towers, how to respool your tower winch. At this point, what you want to do is try to pull all of your slack around the winch drum. Working each cable into its own set groove. This first process is to determine how much extra length you will need in order to insert into your Allen screw hold down. As you can see, we are several inches short of the Allen screw. So at this point we will begin winch pulley adjustments on all three sections. Start with removing your outer nut, placing it to the side. You will need to replace this once we retighten all pulleys. Loosen the nut until you get the thread length even with the outside edge of the nut. Make sure you do not take the inner nut all the way off of the pulley. Once you have the outer section pulley adjusted, come back to your drum spool, pull down on your cable to gain as much slack as possible. And at this stage, if you do have enough cable to insert, you will not need to proceed to the next two steps. In this case, we are still several inches short, so we will go back to the next intersection. Same process, remove your outer nut, place it to the side. This will need to go back on once we are at the stage of tightening cables. This is the same method as the outer section. Once you remove the secondary nut, loosen the pulley until the threads are even with the outside edge of the nut, making sure not to remove the nut completely. Now work your way to the next intersection, remove the secondary nut, and repeat the process of loosening tension. While loosening the tension on these pulleys, the inner nuts on the pulley side, take care not to move those. That will give you a reference when retightening the pulleys, how tight, how much tension to reapply. Now at this stage we should have enough slack within our cable once we respool around the drum to reach our Allen screw. This may take a few minutes of process of rolling the cable on the drum. You want to ensure that the cable within the drum is nice and snug and you've pulled all of the slack to the end of the cable. As you can see here, we have a minimum of 1 inch extended past our Allen screw. At this point you'll want to insert your cable into the hold down. If your cable is frayed on the end, you will want to use tape to bring all the frays back in. While working the cable into this Allen screw hole, make sure your Allen screw is backed out enough that it doesn't interfere with the passage of the cable. Once you have your cable inserted thoroughly, ensure that the drum cable is still snug and retighten your Allen screw. You want the screw to be tight, but ensure that you don't over tighten and strip out the threads. And once you have the cable retightened on the drum, reverse steps of retightening the cable, starting with the innermost section. If you notice, the nut on the pulley side of the rung is still in the same place it was when the cable pulley was loosened. Retighten the pulley until that nut and washer is snug against the rung. Once you have the pulley tightened into its respective place, put on your secondary nut and snug up. You do not want this nut over tightened. Repeat the same step on the next two sections, working your way to the outer bottom section of the tower. Once you have finished the 3 steps of retightening each section respective pulley, you will need to recheck your cable tension with the correct